YouTube. Today we're coming to you from the Bizooku headquarters. Today we're going to be interviewing our business developer. He's going to give you a little key aspects of how Bizooku works and how his mind kind of works in the same aspect of things. If you want to find out more about who we are and what we do, go to bizooku.com, bizooku.com. Cool, let's get into this. So Nick Brunelle.
Yes, sir.
Phenomenal dude. I met this guy 5 years ago. He's a serial entrepreneur. He started a couple businesses. Tell us a little bit how you got into Bizooku.
Whew, it's an interesting story. First and foremost, if you guys aren't familiar with who Bizooku is a leading mobile technology company. We're based right here in Federal Way, Washington. We call it sunny Seattle, and I mean that in all sincerity. Because it never is sunny here. But nonetheless, it's a fun place to be. But Bizooku, the company, excited me from a whole nother realm in business that I never have seen before, right? My previous background is in orthopedics. I worked for a large medical device company called Strike Orthopedics and was kind of leading their charge with sales and growth strategies for the company. And a good friend of mine, Greg Bird, he's an orthopedic surgeon down in Olympia, Washington. We were having a conversation, and he's like, "Man, how the heck are we going to get out of the operating room?" We joke and we giggle and we talk about this stuff all the time because I believe wholeheartedly as individuals or as an entrepreneur, a business mindset, that we just have this innate desire inside of us to constantly want more, push boundaries, and get to another level to where we're currently at. So we're joking around. We're saying, "Man, how the heck are we going to get out of the operating room?" And Greg says, "Man, we should just develop an app." And I was like, "Yeah, that's a brilliant idea coming from a couple guys that know nothing about technology or mobile," which is funny to look back on now because I'm sitting here, in a leading role in Bizooku and helping push the charge in the marketplace. But about 2 weeks after that conversation, one of my best friends, actually a family member, his name is Galen Brunelle, was at a Starbucks, randomly meets this guy, Jeff Jocelyn. And if you don't know, he's the founder of Bizooku. He's a visionary. This guy is on another level as far as where he sees and where he's going. But he shared with Galen Bizooku's vision and where it's heading and where it's going. And an hour later after their conversation, Galen's first phone call that he made was to myself. And he goes, "Man, you're never going to believe this technology I just came across. I met this guy and he's just going a million miles per minute." And I just remember sitting there thinking, like, that's awesome. I can't wait to put one more thing on my plate. Because if you guys know who I am, like Jeff or Zach alluded to, I am a serial business owner. I own a lot of companies. I did at the time, and I still do. And I'm very passionate about entrepreneurship and business. But it was the last thing that I wanted to get into was another business. But when Galen called me, he was like, "This is incredible. You got to meet this guy." So we set up a call. We met with him. And right away, my brain's ticking like it does with business. I'm like, okay, fantastic. I'm thinking about how am I going to structure a business, what I'm going to do. Well, Galen left the next day or in the next few days. He went to Australia, and he went there for a couple months to build another business that we own. And while he was there, we weren't communicating, but I took it upon myself, probably shouldn't have because Galen's a business partner of mine, to just start the company. So I licensed with Greg Bird, my orthopedic friend, surgeon, and we just licensed Jeff's technology, right? Bizooku's technology. We licensed it, built our entire company, and that's kind of where the road started for us in Bizooku. But we did very well. We started a company. We called it Mobile Medical Connection, which we tell Galen a few weeks into it. We're like, "Man, we're so excited. We started this company called Mobile Medical Connection." He's like, "Brilliant, guys. I know nothing about the medical field. I'm a bridge engineer." And we're like, "Oh, okay." So then we quickly made that company into what is known today as MMAPPS.com, mobile marketing applications. But we started doing really well. Things started happening, started grooving for us. And Bizooku, the parent company, the founder, Jeff Jocelyn, was like, "Man, you guys are doing so well. Why don't we just join forces? Why don't you guys just come on board with Bizooku?" And so a year later, here I am, as an integral role in the company. And as one of the owners, I can sit here and tell you, there's no better position to be in than in technology, in mobility, and have it at the fingertips of all of our hands to be able to transform and build leadership through technology and business. And that's what we have. And so that's a little background on how I got started in Bizooku. A little bit longer of a story than most, but it's been a heck of a ride so far.
Oh yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So kind of give us a little bit about like what you think the vision of Bizooku, where you think that's going.
Sure. The vision of Bizooku. Well, so I'm going to give you my vision. Now, when you see Jeff Jocelyn, his vision, if you think I'm passionate and smiling and excited right now and I can just punch the camera, well, he's on another planet, right? He's on another level. But so his vision and our vision, I think they all align together. And I think everyone that's part of Bizooku, we jokingly say, hey, we're a group of 10 entrepreneurs that makes cool stuff happen, right? And when you take a look at it like that, there's no necessarily dictatorship in this company, which is very cool. So the vision that I see, and I think collectively the group of people here, they kind of see the same thing, this entrepreneurship, these people that can actually make a difference from the start. And the vision that we collectively come up today, because it's not about what I think what's going to happen, but it's us as a whole, right? Because the people are your business and the people have the vision. Of course, it's being led by Jeff Jocelyn, but the vision that we all see is truly the ability to connect with hundreds of millions of people across the globe in the context of business and technology for one primary goal, and that's to build leadership. And if we're able to do that and through something that we think is the most powerful tool on the planet, the mobile device, right, and actually help businesses leverage and grow, we think we're onto something. Now, where do I think that we're going to be heading? I think we're going to be vastly headed into the SME market, and that's the small business market. We're going to be helping that market tremendously. We're going to be going into the enterprise level because we have a unique technology that is not only the number one technology out there as far as an app building platform, because we utilize smart app technology, but it's ultra secure. We're able to port. We have portability that's never been seen before in a platform. And because we have this security factor to be able to port, the enterprise market, as far as scalability, is wide open. And we're going to see a massive growth for Bizooku in the enterprise market for years to come. So it's very exciting, to see where it's going to go. But I can tell you our number one goal is to help, right? We believe wholeheartedly in the law of reciprocity. And so what that means is if we can give and give and give to our communities, and we know it's going to come back tenfold. And so that's what we're focused on. We're focused on giving and getting this technology out to the marketplace and specifically the world. So
that's huge.
Yeah.
So it's huge. So you kind of alluded to it a little bit. We're going to switch gears a little bit, get more in your personal life.
Oh, okay. We're going to get personal.
Not personal life, but more like personal headspace.
Do I need to call my wife? No.
So you alluded to it a little bit. You're talking about leadership, building leadership within the company, within like the businesses that you touch and whatnot.
Sure.
So what do you want to be remembered for, like leaving Bizooku or maybe later down the road?
Well, I don't intend to ever leave Bizooku. And if we ever do leave Bizooku, it's again the business is the people, right? So I intend on doing business with these group of people for years and years to come. But where do I specifically? That's a hard question. What do I want to be remembered for? Well, it's probably more in the context of a legacy, right? Yeah. For me, it's more of I want to be remembered for impacting as many people as possible in a very, very good way, right? If what I've learned and what the skill sets that I've developed over the years and the struggles, and man, I've had some struggles. I've had some failures. But a failure is just, we're falling forward, we're learning. And if I can instill and impact anyone in my path or anyone around me to better their lives, I want to be remembered for that. I want to be remembered for leaving a legacy of someone that has been a true giver in the realm of business, right? I'm very passionate about business, the process of business, starting a business, and I've done my fair share of that. And, for not just my my personal selfishness, but I want my family to be remembered, right? I want it to be to the point where, when someone talks about the Brunelle family, and this is why, my cousin Galen and I, we do everything together, and we're a strong bond. We want the Brunelle family for generations to come to know that there was this turning point, and that turning point happened when the Brunelle brothers got together and they made a difference.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm super passionate about. And as far as being remembered for, it's just that the legacy, our name, and in the context of helping and providing knowledge and impacting people in a very, very positive way. And if you don't know, we're very faith-driven, right? So if there's any way that we can, lead people to strengthen their faith in the context of business, technology, and leadership, I think that would be the ultimate, for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's really awesome. So one last thing. Obviously, you're saying that you're a serial entrepreneur. I know there's a lot of people watching that, obviously want to start a business or already in business or looking for a little bit of piece of advice. What advice would you give somebody that's going into an adventure or already in it and kind of struggling a little bit?
Don't do it. No, I'm kidding. What advice would I give for aspiring entrepreneurs?
Yeah.
Probably this is very cliche, right? But it's very important that, number one, you have to work on yourself, right? So and a lot of people will think this, I'm just going to go into business for myself, and I'm going to go start a business. I'm going to do that. But can you start a business? Have you ever done it before? What do you know about business, right? So I would highly, highly recommend picking up some books or listen to some audios or go emulate someone that you respect in business. Spend some time with them, because you have to educate yourself. You have to learn first and have an idea, right? And once you have this idea, and maybe you're in a business right now or you're about to start a business, but an idea doesn't mean squat. Whatever you've been told on this planet that ideas are powerful, they are, but only if you put them into action, right? It's the application of our knowledge, the ideas that we get that actually turn out, right? And then it's persistence, right? So if you don't have persistence and you don't have the fortitude and the guts to keep going when things are hard, stop now. Don't even get started with a traditional business, because it is very, very, very difficult, I'll tell you that much. My biggest advice would be to get yourself personally developed about whatever business that you want to start. Go find mentors in the industry of the businesses that you're looking at starting, and learn as much as you can from them to give you the best fighting chance, because it's hard. And then once you get all that knowledge and you get all that dialed in, you got to create your plan, and you need to execute it. And by executing, you need to set your goals that can be measured upon, because nothing that you measure, if you don't measure certain things, you're never going to get to it, right? So you need to make sure you're measuring the goals that you put for yourself. We call them key performance indicators, right? Your key metrics. And so, and then you just stay persistent and you go after it, and you let nothing stop you. Nothing. Because if you're on a path and you stay focused, you can accomplish anything that you deem that you say you want to accomplish. So that's what I'd say, for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Okay, guys, you heard it from our very own Nick Brunelle. Thank you for coming out.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I certainly appreciate being here, and I thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah, I know you're a busy man.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay,
all right,
cool.
guys, take care.
Have a good one.